I think that with that, we would be live if I didn't know any better. Let's fire up our secondary camera and get this stream started. It's been a while since I've streamed, and we were going to talk about a lot of different things here. Welcome back to NLLV. I am SJC. That's a lot of acronyms. My name is Stephen J. Campbell. I'm a full-time YouTube content creator, futures trader, teacher for students who want to learn how to better their life. And I like to be an economic truth teller. I break down concepts and look at things and see gaps that other people don't see. I also spend $11 on iced coffees at Earth Cafe. Actually, really good coffee. If you can swing it, I highly recommend it. And we're going to be doing our stream today live from the Las Vegas Strip. We want to talk about the hidden gaps in the economy and why the casinos will never expose the truth about America's economy that they know is happening. I'm sitting right now at the Wynn and the Encore, one of the properties that is completely unaffected by the massive K-shape. And we're going to be getting back on this channel to the main theme, which is the AA class versus most people. AA being the affluent asset holders. So feel free to ask me questions about whatever you want to ask me about. Spent time in the hospital the other day. That was not fun. I've had a bit of a rough week, but we just keep swimming and we know that God's watching over us. I'm completely healthy, but I can go into it because I took time off. I didn't do a live stream on Friday. I'm doing one Saturday morning. It's already burning hot. I really wanted to get out at 7 in the morning, but then I thought, who's actually awake on the West Coast, East Coast, East Side, West Side? Am I supposed to make gang signs? I don't even know. The airport terminal economies are like the Vegas Strip economy. Are they? Actually, maybe they are. So, yeah, on Thursday, I had a freak out moment. And you guys know I'm a proponent of using AI and large language models. And I'm also a person who developed health anxiety over the last few years. I remember where I was. I was sitting at my desk one day, and this is a build-up, something that maybe you might feel, or somebody that's all of a sudden become very dialed in with their health. Now, first of all, we have to do the YouTube disclaimer. According to the science, the vaccines are safe and secure, and everybody should not worry about them. So we're not going to dig into that. We don't want to cause too much division. But a lot of people, I noticed in the last few years, have developed a bit of a health anxiety twitch. Me, myself included, a great deal. I remember sitting at my desk one day at work, talking to somebody who I was trying to get a call with so I could, do a sales pitch because I used to sell things on the phone. And I remember when he told me that his 28-year-old son had a massive heart attack. That was scary to me. And then he went on a big rant about, the V word. It's kind of like that. And since then, I've been really worried about my health and what might be wrong with me. And I'm super sensitive, and I have the Asperger's autism spectrum, which means that I feel sensations a little bit more than most people do. And even though I've lost about 14 pounds, I've lost weight, I'm in relatively good shape, I still run things through large language models. And on Thursday, I felt like my heart jumped out of my chest and fell out of my bowels at the same time. Because things run in families. I have freckles. There's one on my hand. It's stayed the same size. That's actually a sunspot. You get them as you get older. I have them on my face. I have them all over my body. But when I had a very bright red dot in 3 different places, actually 5, just randomly, I couldn't figure it out. When I dropped it into Claude, which has been dealing with my crazy health stuff, it went in the wrong direction and told me that I needed to get blood work done immediately and that I should get to the ER. Now, I rushed to the ER. The doctor flat out told me, I don't think this is what your AI thinks this is. And the AI usually tells you not to go to the doctor in 99% of the cases for the past 2 years. The doctor said it's something called hemangioma. Sounds terrible. Nobody knows why they happen. They usually happen in very small children or very old people. Sometimes they just happen. Little tiny cherry red things, less than a millimeter or up to a few millimeters. And my blood work is perfect. My metabolic panel came back good. My liver enzymes, my kidneys, my CBC, my whatever blood count they do to make sure you don't have cancer. But suffice it to say, my flight or fight response on Thursday was pumping like being chased after a cheetah in the Saharan African desert. And I didn't eat much on Thursday, and then I didn't sleep all that great. Friday was a recovery day, filmed my video, came back, launched it yesterday. You guys have been so supportive of the videos, but that's where I am on the health, and that's where it is. And nobody's actually listened to a word I said because you're not commenting on it, which is totally fine. Let's see what your comments are so I can comment back to you. Waiting for our slow comments to show up on our Verizon wireless connection. All right, we got comments here. We got Gabriel saying, I hope you're feeling better. Canadian New Yorker says, hello, my struggling Americans. Okay, question, if you're watching, who's struggling? Put it in the chats. Are you a struggling American right now? Put it down in the chats. Airport terminal economies are like the Vegas Strip economy. I actually would say maybe starting to think that the K-shaped economy is a myth. You really think that? Wow. I'm glad you're on the upside. I really am. How do you think that's a myth? And I really want to know. You see, here's the deal on my chats, okay? I want to know, if you're going to say that, I want to hear more. You have the ability to type more on your phone. So if you're going to like bust out something that's like proven to be not true, I want to hear your backing because I can learn from you. So I'm not going to fight with you. I just want to hear more. And if you're going to challenge me, don't be upset when I challenge you back. So you tell me why, even though I can go right now and find 30 complete meltdowns of people who feel like they can't get ahead no matter what they do. They're working 30, 40, 50 hours a week, sometimes 2 jobs. They feel crushed, but you think it's a myth. Let's learn from one another. Let's see here. What's going on with your health? I explained it watching from Orange County, California. Very high food prices in airports. I just flew to Seattle. Walking, Mr. Duffy says, from Los Angeles to get away from the relentless heat and humidity. I flew into hot air, dry smoke. Is any place pleasant now? The world's on fire, baby. Not struggling, not thriving. Look at all the discretionary spending going on. That doesn't mean a thing, bro. That doesn't mean anything. Discretionary spending means jack shit. I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Here's the thing about discretionary spending. While you're looking at that stat, Maple Tree, and I appreciate that you actually came back at me because a lot of people do drive-by comments and then I never hear from them again. And that's good that you actually push back. So while we see discretionary spending, we also have to look at another couple of trends. One of them I put in yesterday's video. It's consumer confidence trends. Consumer confidence been trending down dramatically for the past several quarters, months, 2 years straight. We're up high and we're low. When consumer confidence tanks, people tend to act differently. Are they still spending discretionarily? On some things, but not all things. Are people still addicted to technology? Are people still addicted to big ticket items? In some cases, yes. In most cases, no. A recent survey that they did with, I think it was TripAdvisor, said that close to 75% of everybody back in April had modified their vacation plans over the summer of this year. Yet, at the same time, every single time we have some kind of story come out about a holiday weekend, it's, quote, the biggest travel weekend of this holiday ever. So how can it be all those things at the same time? Well, we have to take something into account. We have to take a look at the amount of debt being incurred by average consumers over the last few years. And that debt has increased from 1.28 trillion to 1.5 trillion to 1.78 trillion. And the big people that own the credit card debt, which is like Discover, JP, Bank of America, they're finding that their default rate is going up considerably. Meanwhile, on the other discretionary side of things, I have a video I'm going to be doing on my channel this week. I was just riding around. See these glasses? Okay, those are Meta glasses. By the way, there's a backlash against these. If you want me to explain, put back in the chat and I'll explain what the backlash against these are, because in a lot of people's eyes, I'm a horrible person for wearing these. I was wearing these riding my scooter one day to film a completely separate video for this other content that I do. And I saw a giant lineup of cars in front of a middle school, or a high school. It was a high school. I went to investigate this lineup of cars, 150 cars long. Put back in the chat if you want me to describe why people hate these glasses now. And what I found was a food bank. It was a pop-up drive-in food bank that was happening in the parking lot of the high school. So I'm riding on my scooter. I put into eco mode because that's your slow, you're like, all my friends love a low rider. So I'm in slow mode. And one thing struck me. So while Maple says that we have discretionary spending through the roof, you know what really got me? What really got me was, it wasn't the fact that there was a food bank. People struggle. Every part of the world people struggle. I don't care where you are. You're in London, England, or you're in Manila, Philippines, Mexico City, Calgary, Canada, Las Vegas, Nevada, New York City. What really got me was that there were people from different states in that line. People from as far away as Washington State in that line to get food. What really struck me was a $150,000 Mercedes-Benz EV SUV that was in line to get food with its back hatch open. What struck me was the $90,000 Lexus. What struck me was the 3 brand new Kias. How did I know they were new? Well, they had dealer plates. Those are the plates you get when you buy a car off the lot, and they print this temporary thing and you put a piece of paper where your license plate would go. That's what got me about that food line. So, discretionary spending, brand new automobiles, high-end luxury tickets, all ending up in a line now for food. Now, part of me sat back at my house. I just had to take it all in. I'm sitting there taking it all in, and I'm thinking, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm being far too judgmental. Maybe the nice brand new Mercedes-Benzes that I saw were simply getting something for their neighbor who was infirmed and couldn't leave their house. But the more I thought about it, the more that didn't make any sense. The more I thought, maybe these people are scamming the system. And then I thought, maybe they're living on absolute leverage. And that was most likely it. People living on maximum leverage. If you're new on my channel, you haven't subscribed, I do videos with Vegas, using Vegas as the looking glass to the whole economy on Mondays and on Fridays. On Wednesdays, I explore just an economic topic, okay? And so subscribe, because I have all the footage. Now, these glasses, hey Meta, go away. These glasses are Ray-Ban Metas, okay? They're called, I don't know, they're prescription too, I can't really see. They're Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer Gen 2s. I bought these in this exact location where I'm sitting. I'm at the Wynn Esplanade right now. I went to a Meta Labs store. I bought these so I could get footage. Now, if I record a video, you should see a little light. See that light? Now I'm recording a video. I can take that video and use it online, and everybody knows I'm recording a video. Press the button, no more light. Take a photo, watch the light. Click. 3, 2, 1, click, right? My old outro. People hate these. They hate them. Now, I use them to do things like remember where I parked my car. I can say the trigger word, the AI works through speakers and it listens to my voice, and I can say, remember where I parked my car. How much were these? $400. $400. The prescriptions were $215. If you go to Lens Crafters, they'll rip you off. They charge $360 for the Lens Crafters prescription. They screwed my prescription up. I took them to Eyeglass World. $215. So I paid $600 for these. And these can do things like help people with poor memories. These have something called conversation focus. If you have bad hearing to start with, you're in a crowd, you're talking to a person, you can use conversational focus to be able to enhance their speech. I mean, there's lots of good things that these do, but at the same time, people don't like these because there's a contingent of folks that will cover the LED up. They will drill holes in it with special drill bits. They'll bypass that. And the world is so divided right now. So divided. Overkill, we'll get to the trading this week. We'll get to trading in a minute. They think, especially on Reddit, where people are very divisive and there's a lot of people who have... I love my left-leaning friends. They teach me a lot about society and culture and opinions. I'm a conservative, but I have conversations with these people. But on Reddit, they skew more towards like extremism, unfortunately, a lot of the time. So on Reddit, if you don't like that light, you're labeled a PDF Adobe Acrobat file. Words I can't say on YouTube. You're labeled a guy who's going to be like Buffalo Bill off of Silence of the Lambs. Puts a lotion in the basket. So people start to hate these glasses. I don't know. What's Joe 90? I don't even know what that is. I like the glasses. I think it makes me look like even more of a nerd than I already am, and I embrace the nerd and I embrace the teacher aesthetic. I don't have a jacket with tweed on it, so... Oh, Joe 90. It's like a thing from... It's like a thing from back in the past. All right, I get you. It's a TV series. Joe 90 is a British science fiction television series that follows exploits. I could have asked. So here I say, hey, Meta, what is Joe 90? Oh, I don't think Meta is responding. Hey, Meta. Oh, it is. Hey, Meta, stop. Hey, Meta, stop. It's really loud in here. If I take the mic, you should be able to hear what Meta says, so I'll try that, okay? Let me see if that actually works. Hey, Meta, what is Joe 90?
Yeah, Joe 90 usually refers to the 1960s British puppet spy series about a 9-year-old kid who gets secret agent skills downloaded into his brain. There was also a 90s alternative rock band named Joe 90. Were you thinking of the TV show?
I was thinking about somebody on my YouTube stream that said I look like Joe 90 wearing my Meta glasses.
Oh, got it. That makes sense. People probably meant the Joe 90 puppet from that old spy show.
Meta, stop. So now you have all the world's knowledge in your ears, and it has contextual conversations that follow what you're talking about. And they've been a great benefit for me. Last week I did an interview for Jay Bravo's channel. We were going to talk about the K-shaped economy. I needed a bit of a refresher. So on the drive in, I had a private conversation with my glasses. And because it's something I've studied, I knew it wasn't peddling me a bunch of large language model nonsense. And I thought it was pretty cool. So there you go. You look like Ace from the movie Casino. Well, there you go. Yeah, from the 1950s. That was a 50s and 60s look. I went to Trump's speech at Red Rock. I remember that forever. That's cool, James. It's fine. Look, if you guys I don't care if you're conservative. Watching you hustle inspires humans younger and older than you. Oh, thanks so much, Jim. I don't care if you like Donald Trump. I don't care if you like Kamala Harris. I don't give a damn about all that stuff. I don't care. I just care that we can have a conversation about it and teach us stuff together, you know? The unemployment figures are broken. It stopped tracking over 500,000 people. It shows almost all the employment is healthcare and government. Actually, the government lost jobs last time they put out JOLTS. The JOLTS report sorry, it was non-farm payroll. I think JOLTS was before that. The non-farm payroll report came out last week. They were expecting a net positive 80,000 jobs, but instead it sunk 20,000 jobs, 23,000 jobs. Now, I made this graph, and I'll show you what this graph looks like. And it's not a good graph. It's not a good chart. I did this for my traders. I have a channel called SJC Trades Futures. But take a look at the chart, okay? Now, this is the last year of these non-farm payrolls. And you can see August of 2025, September's up, October's down, November, December, January up, February way down. Then we have March, April, May, June, July, all down, accumulating in a downward trend at the end right here with August. Now, non-farm payrolls, why did those drop? It's so crazy because on one hand, the government always cooks the books, whether it's the current guys or the last guys, they're going to cook those numbers to try to make them look better, right? Now, they said some things in there that made sense. Then they said one glaring thing about that payroll, non-farm payrolls that didn't make sense. So here's what they said, right? They said, well, we had FIFA employment. Then we had everybody who was working in a temporary job for FIFA World Cup. Now, mind you, this was many cities, right? We had San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, New England. We had major cities and major population centers that temporarily hired for hotels, hospitality, restaurants, tourist attractions, stadium workers, tons of temporary jobs. That's true. And then all those jobs went away because FIFA went away. That makes sense. But then you get into the whole, I don't trust you. Because they said, well, that also includes teachers. Excuse me? Baking powder? Because if we look at the jobs report every year, that would have to take into account teachers every year. And teachers aren't unemployed. They're not going on unemployment. I'm not in Italy. I'm at the Earth Cafe over at the Wynn. Earth Cafe. Very expensive and very good, frankly. But you don't come here if you... This was $11. It's really good, though. So those numbers, those reports, they come out. Now, participation in the economy, that's a big one. And that's where you can play with numbers. And to his credit, Mark Carney up in Canada seems to be doing something right with their economy. And a lot of the Canadian problems with unemployment were actually people who were on temporary work permits. And then silently in the background, while all of the conservatives in Canada and the United States were criticizing Mark Carney, he was doing things like canceling 100,000 work permits from foreign-born workers who came to Canada and then didn't get an extension and now they can't work. This took people out of the labor pool and increased their unemployment numbers. It's kind of weird. So here, coming back to America, because there's probably no Canadians. Are you Canadian watching? Tell me in the chats if you're Canadian. So over here in the United States, we take our employment and our unemployment. Why am I so negative against Canada, where you were born? Are you even listening to my stream? Blackjack Mister has been watching me forever. Sometimes I think people don't hear my words. Are you even listening to me? How did Chris Tucker say it in Rush Hour? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I just not 2 minutes ago gave Mark Carney credit for the Canadian economy. So, stop. Wiggle with it. I want to do Bruno Mars in a minute. Stop. Just stop. Come on. Be better. Be better. Be a better listener. So, at the same time, in America, I don't know. Think about it this way, right? I'm trying to think of an analogy here. You have cars in a city, and you say there's 1 million cars in my city, but 500,000 of them can't even run. They don't even turn on. They're just dead cars. So you stop counting the cars that can't run in your traffic. Makes sense, right? So in America, we take we take people who are employed versus not employed. If they're not employed and they're looking for jobs, we call them unemployed. They're looking for jobs, they're actively seeking, they're going to interviews, they're trying to find a job, okay? That's fine. But then if we go long enough where they can't find a job, we don't keep counting them in the looking for a job. We take them out of that and we say they're no longer unemployed. They're just no longer looking for work, or they're no longer counting in the stats. So we can take the unemployment rate and we can say it's 4.2% forever, because even though it might be inching up to 5 or 6 or 7%, after a certain amount of months where people can't find new work, we stop counting them in the number of people, so they fall off. We count the new people. So it's a constant balancing act. If you want to balance your books at 4% of something forever, all you got to do is take people that have been here for too long and reduce them, and these people come and replace them, and now you have a balancing act. Do you follow what I'm saying? Are you tracking what I'm saying? Are you tracking what I'm saying? Say yes in the chat if you get what I'm saying, right? So the government runs a very careful balancing act, and what's happening in the economy right now is that it's August and it's very volatile. The markets are not good to trade right now. People like somebody that just entered into the chat, people like him go to Morocco. They go to Morocco, yeah, right. They go to Monaco, they hang out, they don't even trade the markets. Institutional traders that throw around 100 grand, 200 grand a trade sometimes don't go. You guys are out here. Some of you guys are traders. Some of you guys are my students. Some of you guys aren't. I don't even know. I was looking at some student comments today on my other channel, SJC Trades. Absolutely great stuff. Completely love it. You guys are doing great. Yeah. Did you guys trade the markets this week? I don't know. Let's see here. Have you ever checked out Flower Child in Summerlin? No. Never been out there. Never been out there, man. So anyways, yeah, we're going to go and check out the two-tiered system in Vegas. I think a lot of people that are out here, like I'm sitting here right now, I can't tell you the overwhelming amount of Europeans that are in this cafe right now. They're the ones that come and spend more. They're the ones that come and put more into our economy. They're the ones that come out here and throw money around. That's why across the street there's a place that sells $75 hats. That's why I'm looking at, brands that you never heard of. We'll take a look at all this here. Have you ever been to Prim? I did an entire video on Prim about how Coral Icon shorted Prim and made hundreds of millions of dollars on it. I've explored Prim extensively. I don't know if I should go back to Prim or not. There's a rumor that the Luxor is closing. I'm going to be doing a video on that. I'm going to do my homeless video this week. How's life in Vegas? My life is great in Vegas, bro. I got the money to live here. You need to make a lot of money. I mean, in America right now, you need to make a lot of money in order to be happy in America. You guys want to take a guess, and some of you guys are going to guess really, really high. Do you guys want to take a guess at how much money you need to live in the United States to feel happy in America? Take a guess. Tell me what you think that number is. I'll show you a chart in just a second. Take a guess at what you think you need to make in America in order to keep your life good. I'd love to hear what you think. Tell me in the chats. 120, 100K, 200K. It's actually a two-tiered question, actually. And I can show you, I have the graphic right here in front of me. 80K, 150K, Alvin says 250K, 75K. What state am I in? I'm in Nevada. You need to get at least 2,500 per month to stay alive. What is the definition of happy? In the study, the definition of happiness is like you can buy your groceries, you have your entertainment, you don't have to think about your bills. You don't have to think about bills. You can subscribe to a Netflix and not feel bad about it. You don't have to be mad that Grand Theft Auto 6 premiere is paywalled for 6 hours because you have Netflix. It's vastly different. No, we're talking on a national average. You can ask. So here's the truth about it, okay? In the United States of America, the number to be generally set is $134,827 a year. That's what you need in the United States of America to be generally not worried about your bills, not grinding. Now, for people in the United Kingdom, the UK is lower. Most of Europe is lower. UK is $120,000 a year. For my Canadian brethren, Canada, this is all in USD. You got to make $113,000 a year. Okay, so it's going to vary from place to place. Now, the second part of this question, tell me in the chats, how much do you think the average household makes in America? Type it in the chats below. Type it in the chats below. Type in the chats what you think the average household makes in America. We'll do like a, say go. Let's hear it. Okay? What do you think the average household? 78, 65, 50 to 60, 65. Well, let's ask 120. Oh my gosh. Somebody's out of touch. Hey, Meta. What does the average American household make in the United States?
Good question. On it. Yeah, there's average and median, and they differ a bit. The median household income in the U.S. was around $82,000 in 2024, according to census data. The average, or mean, is higher, at about $67,000 for individuals, because high earners pull it up. Median is usually more accurate for what a typical household makes.
Okay, so we have a bit of a gap, right? We have a bit of a gap. And I think the gap is something that's widening right now. And I think that it's something that, I don't know. Hey, Meta, go away. Hey, Meta, go. Hey, Meta, go. Hey, Meta. They won't stop talking. Hey, Meta, go away. So I think that gap is pulling itself aside. And I mean, like, that's what I've been trying to tell you this, right? Corporations, companies, big entities, they're monetizing every single part of you. They're monetizing everything right now. Everything is monetizable, right? For example, these glasses. Now, Meta, oh, it's going to trigger again. The company that makes these glasses, they recently pulled back. But some of the features they promised last year, they started trying to paywall them. Everything is paywalled. For example, right? You get your iPhone. I love Apple. Great company, I think. But you get your iPhone right here. They give you a little bit of storage for free. Before you know it, you've blown through your free storage. And then they wanted $1.99 a month. And then you pay them $1.99 a month, and then you blow through that. It's $10 a month. Before you know it, you're locked in the ecosystem of something like this right here. Or, for example, the gimbal I'm using. It has a lot of fun tricks. You buy the gimbal, it costs $130, made by Insta360. You get into their ecosystem, they give you some credits. The credits are for making cool content, but you run out of credits, and then they put out their hand and try to get more from you. And if you're not paying them directly, you are being charged with your data, your information, your knowledge. Everything is being tracked about you. And life is getting more and more expensive. That's all it really is. And I explained this yesterday in my video, right? Right now, Apple's switching to a leasing program on iPhones. Now, will I do it? Probably. Why? Because I have the ability to pay $45 a month plus Apple Care, about $58, $60 a month. Now, if I do that for a year, Apple comes out with a brand new phone, then I'm going to pay 60 times 12, which is $720 for a phone that I'll use for a year, that I'll get the new version next year, and the new version next year, and the new version next year. Because why? Because every year I spend $1,500 on the phone. And then I give the phone away, usually. I just give it to somebody in the Philippines. And fine, I can save money this way. But is it right for you to do that? Probably not. Because, see, it's a lease. You don't ever own anything. You're locked into something. You miss a single payment, you're getting hit with fees and charges. And those snowball. And most people have very poor fiscal responsibility. And so we're getting to the point where you will own nothing and you will like it. We're getting to the point where consumer electronics are getting so expensive that you're going to end up leasing everything because you can't afford what you really want. And most of you guys are trapped. I don't know what to tell you. I want to look at something real fast here. I want to highlight a few things. Now, if you don't know this, I have a channel called SJC Trades Futures. I have students that are on that channel. I want to highlight some student successes this week before we move on, because some of them watch this channel too. I want to go to my community and I want to look at all my comments, okay? So let's view some of my comments and talk about some successes. And we're going to go to all of my, because I respond to everyone. Let's see here. We have Mr. NV. I think he's one of my students. He says, good for him. He got in and made $715 in one trade and $915 on another trade. So he made in one day the other day, trading the markets, $1,630 by clicking when it went up and clicking it when it went down. This was another guy, Tom. He didn't trade too much, but he made $120 2 hours after the big moves of the day. So one of my base hit guys right there. Let me see, another success. I want to find more successes. Let's see here. Okay. So this guy here, one of my students, Tom George, he made $240 in a single day. He was showing, he's talking about stuff in the course there. $240 success right there. $365 for a single day he made trading the markets. It's another one of my students, Dennis. Good work, Dennis. Let's see here, more successes, because I want to call you guys out on once a week when I do live streams when you've been successful. I want you guys to know your success is amazing. This is Mark D. He's one of my guys here. He made $160 with a base hit, one single trade. Amazing stuff, Mark. Good work. They're trading for 15 or 20 minutes a day. And let's see here. Another one of my students made $230 in the morning time. Amazing. That's Tom. Tom's been crushing it. Good work, everybody, when you're trading the markets. I think it's amazing that you guys are doing this. I think it's amazing that you took a chance on yourself. This is why I do it, because I realized that this thing that I had to do out of sheer necessity to quite possibly save my family's future, because I don't have an education, I had no prospects, something that I could transfer and teach people. It's really making a huge difference. And what are they doing? They're using 1K a day. It's my course. It's how I sponsor these videos. It's a simple thing, right? I show you how to look at a chart, see when the price goes in a certain direction, click a button. It's simple. Anybody can understand it. You see all the people, they're making their money right there. They had no knowledge of this stuff before they started. At the same time, I back it all up. I have my entire channel called SJC Trades Futures. Every single day on that channel, I post videos showing you exactly what you should be looking for in the day. This is just my videos. I started the channel last week. I post videos every single day. And so you guys can go every day and see if you're doing the right things by watching a 5 to 7 minute long video. That's it. So if you guys want to do something like that, if you guys want that opportunity, I only take 2 or 3 students every time I do a piece of content, because I answer all my own emails. I do all my own customer support. I do all my own everything. It's a $2,000 course. You do it on your own whenever you feel like you want to do it. It's $197 if you go and use the code FutureMe1, because I want you to think about the future you. Let's go and take a look at the two-tiered K-shaped yada yada Las Vegas Strip, okay? Let's go take a look at all this stuff, see what it looks like out here. So go click on the link, go see the page. Share my mistake in paper trading if you wish a learning curve. Everybody has mistakes, bro. You have mistakes. Steven had a mistake. I had mistakes. I lost money 2-3 weeks ago. Lost an account. I blew my account. Lost $6,000 in a day. Well, you get back up on the horse. I opened another prop firm account. $100, pass the account. Now I'm back in the green. There you go. All right. How'd you do, Pikachu? So yeah, go click the link. Become a student. If you become a student on the stream, I'll give you a shout out with your first initial of your name. And I'll show everybody that you're on a better place for yourself. You're on your own, and getting that at work is very stressful. Everything is stressful in life, bro. Steven, don't your taxes get difficult? No, you get paid off of prop firms, and they use a 1099 system. 1099s, you can claim a little bit of your rent. You can claim a little bit of your expenses. I'm not an accountant. I don't offer you that professional accounting advice. You need an accountant, but yeah, you just don't worry about the taxes. You're worried about buying a Ferrari because it has $3,000 batteries in the car. You're like, what if my Ferrari battery goes bad? Well, you don't have a Ferrari, and if you do, you'll have the $3,000 to fix it. So don't worry about that part. Just worry more about learning something that makes you $100-$200 a day when you know how to do it. You can. That's what your potential is. Your potential is $1,000 a day. I got one guy, he made $5,000 in a week. Like, I'm telling you guys, I want you guys to be successful. I need to teach 10,000 people how to do this. Have a good day, Alvin. I need to teach 10,000 people how to do this. Let me be your teacher. Let me make you better than I am at this. Let me create a monster that nobody can put down. Let me give you all the confidence you've been missing in your whole life. Let me show you that this stuff is possible, because it really is. Go to the site, enter FutureMe1 when you go to checkout, because it's fun, actually. It becomes like playing a freaking video game. It really does. You know? You see the same things over and over every day. Is the Luxor in bad financial shape? Oh, yeah. We're going to make a video about the Luxor. We are. I like Earth Cafe because they have free water. They have this just set up right here. You don't have to, like, pay $2 for a cup of water. They even have cups back here. Look at that. Cups. Free water. Like, they charge you $11 for an iced coffee. They better be free water. Alvin says, listen to him, people. $200 is a small risk for something that might change your life. I want you to consider this, okay? If I showed you that the potential existed for you to walk to one of 4 places every single day and look under a rock and find a US $100 bill every single day, and it took 15 minutes to do the walk, and it was perfect room temperature, controlled climate, never going to rain, never going to snow, never going to be hot, never going to be cold, would you take the opportunity to walk 15 or 20 minutes to look under the rock, see if there's $100 in it? I think most people would. If you wouldn't, you're a loser. And I mean, you're just a loser. And I don't have time for that. I don't have time for losers in my life. I don't have time for people that were me. See, I was a loser. Years ago, I was a loser. And the government, everybody's holding me down. Yeah, the price of things. No. Don't do that. Because that's what I'm telling you trading is. Trading is clicking a chart, watching $100 come into your account because you were 80 to 90% positive where that was going to go. Walking away in 10 minutes and saying, I have the potential to make $100 in 10 minutes. And I would have to work a second job for 8 hours to do that. Like, that's liberation. That's liberation. I saw that you guys bought that Sensational Freshies, Frankie Strong. I saw you guys. I'm like, I know that French sounding name. Ah. Thank you guys so much. I meant to text you, but I've been spinning in my head on health anxiety. It's not been fun. So, go do the course, okay? Go get yourself into it. I only take 2 or 3 a day. I want to teach 10,000 people how to do this stuff. Go do it. Do it! And also, you guys can go to my other channel where I show you every day. Like, how... I'm sorry, but let me ask you a question. How much of an absolute no-brainer, brain-dead, simple thing is this? Number one, you're going to watch videos on any device you want to own. Number two, you're going to trade with no risk to yourself and practice. Number three, you're going to go to YouTube and watch a 5 to 7 minute video with me every single day showing you what you should have seen. So you can have that light bulb go off in your head, and then the next day you see it and you do it. That's it. It can't be any simpler than that. I don't know anybody who has a course on YouTube, and they sell them for $2,000 or $3,000. By the way, I'm $197. I don't know anybody else on YouTube that is literally taking the time to make free content for anybody to watch, to say, here's exactly what I put in my course played out in real time for you. It's bonkers, man. That's what I'm doing. Let's go and turn the camera around. I don't want to talk about it anymore. You're not going to buy it. You're not going to buy it at this point. Then you're never going to buy it. It doesn't really matter. But if you are, you're set up for success in a way that nobody could ever understand. I will say this before I go. None of you will ever get multi-million-dollar traders to sit with you and show you step by step. So take your chance. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you, brother. Alvin, you got dinner, man. Come on, dude. Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos are waiting. Got your chart set up. Cool. Anyway, and then I'm going to be launching indicators if you're one of my students. If you're one of my students watching, I'm launching an indicator toolkit. It reinforces everything I say in my system. You're going to have levels that light up. You're going to have the orb. You're going to have entries and exits. Like, you're going to have everything on here. That's my levels. It's going to be through Chart Prime. That's coming soon. Not necessary. You don't have to buy them. But if you do, it's going to be all the stuff backed up. So you're like, oh yeah, I thought so. I guess that's true. There it is. How do you like them apples? Anyway, love y'all. Let's go. And we got to stay out of the heat as much, but it's 103. I wanted to get this started early, but I just couldn't get there. Just couldn't do it in time. Like, I was up at 5 this morning. I've been sleeping so good since I cut out all my carbs and I'm an animal-based diet, man. All I eat now is beef. I bought steaks. I bought ribeyes. Yum, yum. And I eat steak, beef, butter, and eggs. And I've been having some dairy and bacon, but I don't really... the dairy is not my thing as much. No? Lots of histamines, and I got a histamine overload in my body. Schwab, for example, has tons of free trading videos on how clients, but too much info can be confusing, and Steven's course seems to be the best. Dizio, are you trading again? Did you fall out and take some time off? Dizio was one of my first students out there, man, I'll tell you. And by the way, there's no bullshit gimmicks here, okay? I want to sell the course for its price. It's never going to sell for its price. Here's the deal. I'm going to look you straight in the eye when I tell you this, okay? I want you to listen to me. Take the glasses off. Crooked eyes. I'm not trying to bullshit you and tell you the price is going up, okay? The reality is, at $197, it is literally a no-brainer for the right people. I think it should sell for way more. It's probably never going to sell for way more. But I'm going to limit the amount of people that come into it. And pretty soon I'm going to have some very high ticket add-ons where you have direct access to me, but I'm only taking 2 or 3 people a month, and I won't even tell you the price. It wouldn't make sense. So there it is. So I'm just telling you the truth. There's no gimmicks here. I want to help as many people as I can change their lives. And that's what we're looking at. We're going to stay in the shade here because it's hot today. You like the glasses? Thanks, brother. I like them too. People either love them or hate them. I think it's a new perspective, you know? I look just like Buddy Holly, you know? And you're Mary Tyler Moore. Look at all the taxis. Yellow, yellow, yellow everywhere. Looks like my pee when I take my beef organ supplement. Beef organ supplement has lots of B6 vitamins. I'm singing again. Don't do that. I work 2 jobs and can't even buy a car. Suck, bro. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. It's crazy, man. Cars are a dumb price. You know, the average price of a used car is like $50,000 now. $50,000 for a decent used car. Of course, like you can buy like I got a 2005 Kia. Yes, you can drive around like Better Call Saul, but you don't want to, you know? How much is my electric bill during the summer? I'm on the equal payment plan, so my electric bill is always $157 every month. My blinds are always drawn in my house. I have a Google Nest smart thermostat. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's like magical. I have my house set up to tweak my temperature throughout the day. I sleep at 68 degrees in my house. That's the optimal sleeping, by the way. And in the day, my temperatures are at 78. But the Nest thermostat, it'll adjust for things like if it's going to get humid, it'll tweak my system. And the Google Nest thermostats are smart enough to understand that your air conditioner coils are often frozen solid. Well, they're always frozen solid. So at some points, it doesn't even run your AC. It just blows the cold air from the ice. So things like this. So I did that because I want to be able to control things better and use less energy and things like this. But yeah, $150. If I didn't, it would be like $350 in the summer and around $75 in the winter. But it just averages so you know what your bill is every month. The Freon standard, old R2 systems last forever, but newer Freons are more efficient, save more money after initial replacement costs. Yeah, costs a lot. Replace your entire AC system, tens of thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah, just take your Bluetooth and let everybody hear your music. Wish I made $100 million a year. Money doesn't buy anything. Once you get to a certain level, it doesn't matter. I have a friend who knows a billionaire. That friend is worth a bunch of money, right? And he was telling me, like, you're going to get to a point in life where if you want a $300,000 car, you buy the $300,000 car and it doesn't feel like anything. So I'll give you an example from me, okay? I remember, can you access the course from England? Yes, yeah. Let's talk about, here, I want to explain one more thing about the course. Don't run it, don't go anywhere, okay? Please don't go anywhere. I don't want to kill my stream, okay? But here's how this works, okay? The way 1K a day works is really, really simple. Number one, you get in for $197. That's the only price you'll pay me for the course, and then I add stuff to it all throughout the month. The course is complete, it's done. Number two, you paper trade, you practice trade. You practice trade. You're trading the US markets, even from England, okay? You're trading the futures markets. They run 22 hours a day. There's always a time when you can trade, no matter where you live. Okay? It works in England, Canada, France, Sweden, even Russia. I thought it doesn't work in Russia. Apparently it does work in Russia. You can access the markets. Number three, when you're ready and you hit some requirements I put in the course, you don't need 10 grand or 20 grand to trade the markets. You use prop firms. Prop firms are firms where you pay them for a test. It's about $100. You pass the test by hitting a profit target, trading the same market you were practicing on. So nothing's changed for you. You're trading the same way. And then they give you an account where you can actually put money in your bank account if you win. And that's the whole outline. And along the way, you're watching me trade on SJC Trades Futures, and I'm showing you that day what you missed, where you got trapped, and where the money was. So I'm upping your chances of success, because here's why. If you're successful and you post good comments there, it proves that what I'm doing is altruistic and it's not some kind of like get rich quick thing. And I asked you not to leave and 50 people left because I decided to do that thing. So anyway, I take small batches of people, 2 or 3 at a time when I do content. If you want to get into it, use the code FUTUREME, then the number 1, and you'll get in for $197. And that's it. Okay? Here's the coupon code. Go watch the stuff on the website. And that's it. End of story. Okay? There's our ad. Oh, and if you want to check out my other channel with testimonials from my students and stuff, it's right there. That's SJC Trades Futures. I have a 20-minute video on how I, 5 years of what I learned in 20 minutes. I'm going to do more longer form stuff there, talks. I'd be happier living in a car than living on the sidewalk, and happier living in a house than living in a car. That's right. There you go. So go read the comments on the videos. Go read my student successes. I want you guys to be better at this than I am. Better than I could ever be at it. That's what motivates me, man, helping people. I don't have cue the fire. Cue the fire. Right? I did an interview with him we're at this property at the Wynn, at Parasol, and we were talking about stuff. I got to edit the video. I offered to edit it. It's going to be on his channel. That'll be fun. Jay Bravo's a friend of mine. Actually, great friend of mine. I'm still here. You just gave a great outline of your course. Those 50 just lost down. That's okay. They'll come back. We got a lot of security in the Wynn. I love how the Wynn has so much security in the property. Look at that. What kind of dog is that? Wow. That's great. What kind of dog is that, sir?
German Shorthair Pointer.
He looks so well behaved. It's like 2 dogs at once. It looks like one of those big floppy ear dogs and then a shepherd. That's rad. Wow. You don't want him to chase after you. Oh. They're tagging his bag. They're doing bag checks at the Wynn today. My goodness. Student videos are always outstanding. Sponsor you live with SJ Tree. Sponsor you live. You're live. Sponsor it with SJC Lives. But how long does it take you to get going where you feel comfortable trading? Gabriel, I put forward that everybody should start trading the minute they get into the course. You need to do a lot of trades. It's not a get rich thing. Like, there's no such thing as get rich in trading. Anybody who tells you that, I mean, like, look, what do you guys want me to do? Go rent a car? Oh, I shouldn't say that. You'll be like, yes, go do it. Go rent a car live on camera. I could rent a Ferrari. I bet you if I asked Jay Bravo, hey, can I borrow your wife's Lamborghini? Travis, like, I could probably bull spit you too. But I don't want to sell you the dream because I got conned into this. Somebody scammed me into trading and it took me for thousands of dollars of losses, and it wasn't fun. And I teach you guys how to look out for that stuff. The entire world has been watching the cable internet. Oh, we're gonna go anti-Orange Man. Okay, well, that's good for you. That's good on you. You do that. You guys, you do you. I'll do me. Stream from Zooks. Yeah, Zooks is gonna cost some money, those automated cars soon. But to answer your question, Gabrielle Stevens one, everybody's a little bit different, man. Everybody's a little bit different. I got one guy, I mean, he got in like, I don't remember, November last year, and then he's texting me in May that he made $45,000 in 6 weeks. Like, some people pick up on it real fast, and well, right now it's been pretty easy to trade. Friday was a nightmare. Friday wasn't fun. But I show you every single day, like, what do you have to lose? There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, too. The Louis Vuitton. I need to go to Louis Vuitton and buy some cologne soon enough. Told myself I'd join 1K a day when I got a new job, got hired last week, so you just joined. Hey, James. Thanks, brother. You didn't need masks for COVID-19, like, just so you guys are aware. My wife made them. A lot of you guys are really mad right now. You're like, your wife made masks. Yeah, you know why? Because the government made you wear them. Like, oh, wow, they got lots of canines out, man. I love it. Of course my wife made masks. It's called capitalism, bro. You had a demand in the market. She made a superior product. A lot of you guys bought them, but you didn't need them. We found out. I gotta watch what I'm saying because YouTube doesn't like, I don't have the biggest, I'm not Mr. Beast over here. I gotta watch what I'm saying. So like, we're not gonna talk about that stuff, but at this point, I just want to ask you your opinion. I'm not telling you what to think. Does anybody believe anything that happened over COVID for the most part? Does anybody believe anything that happened for COVID with the most part? Yes or no? It's pitiful and a shame that Rand Paul has done it. It's pitiful and a shame what Rand Paul did to Anthony Fauci. So, I hope you understand that we have reams and reams of certified, truthful data where Fauci said, I made up 6 feet social distancing. I had zero proof that that even worked. Like, there's a lot of, and I just want you to research this stuff on your own. Don't take my word for it. Don't listen to anybody. Everybody's lying to you. Just assume I'm lying to you, but I'm not. It was made up. There was no proof that that worked. He made it up. He made it up. People like me were nearly canceled. I had somebody go through my Reddit account and try to dox me, call out where I live, try to find out who I worked with so they could get me fired. Little did they know the guy I worked for back then, he was the guy who was like, this'll pass. Like, he didn't buy any of it either. Just kind of doing his thing. Just kind of winging it. And look, here's the way I look at it, okay? You're a man in your 70s. You've had an illustrious career, but you've never really gotten the credit that you deserved, you thought you deserved. And you see an opportunity to leave your legacy on the world. And here's what's crazy. In a way, Donald Trump is trying to do the same thing right now. So I'm fair and balanced. And Trump has said, I don't know if I'm going to heaven. I really hope I am. And then he does these crazy things. When you get to the end of your life, guys, your thought process can sometimes be not what it was when you were 30 or 40 years old, you know? I'm just saying. No, China didn't have the same. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. It's very wrong. China literally, I don't know if you know this. China culled, C-U-L-L-E-D. It's the mass unaliving of pets because they were paranoid that pets would be spreading it. Dogs, animals, little kittens. China, they have one social media network in China, okay? Those videos that they smuggled out, got onto Western social media of Chinese officials welding people into their apartment buildings so they couldn't get out. So no, we didn't have the same response. You know? Anyways, I love you guys. So we got a brand new place called Mew Mew opening up here. Let's tamper down the political talk. I don't want to make this all political. But look, if you tell me a fact, you need to back it up with statements. And if I tell you a fact, I can back it up with statements. I can go right now and I can ask Grok for references to credible websites that show that Anthony Fauci made up 6 feet social distancing. It didn't have to happen. The same thing that made it so all of the benches went away in the shopping centers or in the Las Vegas casinos. The same thing that brought massive heavy fines on Vegas casinos. The same thing that kept people out of work when Vegas reopened. 6 feet social distancing because they didn't want to have a check-in person too close to another check-in person. So we're not going to staff as many check-in people. So now your experience in Vegas sucks because there's no staff to help you because we can't put people 6 feet or closer because that would be bad. I can prove to you that he said that there's no science behind this. And that's what I'm talking. Just make sure whatever you're saying to me, you can back up because I'm never going to say something to you that I can't back up with certified, good references. How's the Fontainebleau doing? Um, so I have a friend who went to Fontainebleau. He stayed in a $4,000 a night room. He hated it. He said the service was terrible. The location is ass. I mean, he gets invites to the YSL store. Like, hey, we have a new thing that your wife really wants. Come in and see it. And that's where their flagship is in Vegas. And, he just really didn't like it. Look, it's broken again. Broken! Oh, my goodness. So, I mean, like, it's isolated. It's in the middle of nowhere. They want to build more retail. I hope they succeed. I don't want to see anybody fail in Vegas. But right now, it's the Wynn and the Encore, the Venetian, the Palazzo, the Bellagio. They're really just crushing it, you know? They're just doing great because they're catering to the higher end and they don't have the complaints that people have. Everybody else is trying to sort out how they're going to nickel and dime and make money. You could easily whoop me in a fight. Okay, your penis bigger than me too, I guess. What do you want me to tell you, bro? When you have to say things like that, you got some major stuff. You and me just, good, man. Whatever. I'm an Asperger's nerd, bro. You probably could whoop me in a fight. Why would you even say those things? That's the kind of comment that gets your YouTube account nuked. I'm not going to nuke it. I just don't get it. I don't get that. It's crazy to say things like this. Whew. That was escalated quickly though, didn't it? Let's go into the Palazzo shops at Palazzo. Whew. Oh my goodness. I feel like Jimmy Dore half the time. If you don't know Jimmy Dore, you'd either love him or hate him. He's a classic liberal. But he has severe long COVID issues from the vaccine. That's what he says. So my disclaimer is that YouTube wants me to tell you the vaccine is safe and effective. Whew. Is it okay when my surgeon wears a mask? Yeah, your surgeon's wearing an N95 mask with proper contact points. I wear masks when I go outside to do gardening because I have a mast cell, the hyperreactivity. That means that I get allergies really fast. So I wear masks when I go outside and do gardening. And I have to wear an N95 mask. N95 masks are, the ones that are proper. So they're made in the USA, they're certified, and they have contact points. Those filter out 99% of everything. So I still wear them when I do those kinds of things. Seems the only thing. Paper masks don't work for anything, bro. You're breathing the same everything. They're coarse. COARSE. My mechanic did not wear masks when painting. Yeah. Gotta wear a ventilator, bro. Gotta wear a ventilator. We have a YouTube impersonator. Let's see. Got an email from somebody. Somebody's been trying to email people and tell them that they're me. I will never reach out to you guys, just so you guys know. Yeah, see, here's what they email, right? They're like, so don't fall for this if anybody emails you. Thanks for engaging with my content. I truly appreciate it. How long have you been trading? I'm never going to reach out to you this way. If you're one of my traders, I'll never say that I'm trying to work closely with a small group of investors focused on building disciplined habits, blah, blah, blah. This is a scam. And you guys want to know how come this scam is happening right now? I can tell you why. I know exactly why. This is complete garbage. Complete garbage. Tell me yes if you want to know why the YouTube scam is happening. I know exactly where it's coming from. Back to life. Back to reality. I think so.
I don't feel like their time at all. Championship, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess my stream is back. Ah, it's good. But this happens to everybody thank you. Anybody who's successful and does anything in finance on YouTube, you're going to find impersonators. Sometimes they go into the chats and they make a fake YouTube account. And they pretend to be the channel that you're watching. And they say, I'm working with a small group of people, or you won the WhatsApp contest, or it's ridiculous. It's not them, it's not that creator, but they fake it. And so there is a channel in Vegas that I like. I like the channel. I know the person is a good guy because I've talked to him personally outside of YouTube stuff. But he was trying to run an outside service over the top. Join my $5 or $10 a month thing. And what happened at one point was I was emailing back and forth with him, and somehow I started getting weird emails that looked like they came from him, but they didn't come from him. He had some kind of a hack on his database. So everybody who did sign up for his service, all their emails were completely captured and disclosed. And he had a good amount of people that watch Vegas YouTube content with channels that were taken over. With emails that were taken over and put into a big database. And now what they're doing is they're reaching out to people that they have on that list, assuming they watch my channel, and then trying to act like me and sending out mass emails to people and trying to get them to send money. I had one guy who actually did send money. And he sent him a couple $100. And he emailed me asking after he sent it if that was me. And I'm like, no, because here's the thing. I'm never going to send you an email asking for you to send me money to get you into my course, because I use a company with $200 million of capital behind it that processes payments with Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Klarna, Afterpay. They hold your payment. Then they pay me later. They vet your payment. They have a system in place for cancellations and kicks and fraud and all these things. So I never see your credit card. I never see any of that stuff. I'm never going to ask you. I'm not an investor. I don't want to handle your money. I want nothing to do with your money. I want you guys to spend minimal amounts to learn a skill and then go through the proper motions. And that's the way I run. So if you ever get an email like that, complete garbage, hogwash, preposterous. Look, their channel says not leaving Las Vegas 1T1. Yeah, that's not even, my channel is at not leaving LV. They could have, if you're watching and you're the scammer, 1 subscriber, huh? 1 subscriber on YouTube. You're doing great, buddy. So anyways, don't ever fall for that if you get emails soliciting money, okay? Now we have a COVID-19 stream, apparently. Oh, it's freaking hot, man. Oh, and I haven't had enough water, and I'm probably dumping sodium right now like you don't even believe. So don't fall for anything. And I'm not going to ever ask you for that. I want you guys to do this on the up and up. That's all I want you to do. We can't even walk in the sun right now. It's 105 degrees. Be a high of 111. There was so many aspects to COVID-19, guys. You need to understand something, okay? When, first of all, one thing is interesting about it. We have a blueprint for it, but we don't actually have the virus isolated. It's very strange. There's a Canadian man that won a lawsuit in Canada over this. But we know exactly how it works. We know that it targets certain populaces. We know it targets people who have suppressed immune systems because of things like diabetes or cardiovascular issues to start with. We know a lot about it. So before you get on with your personal story, you need to understand that genetics play a role in everything. I started developing these little tiny, sometimes less than 1 millimeter red spots this week, or not this week. I started noticing them. It's called hemangioma. It's not cancer. It's not blood related. I went and got all my blood work done, and I went to the emergency room on Thursday because I thought I was dying of something horrible. Nope. Well, how does hemangioma start? Well, we don't know. We have no idea. It's genetic. Just shows up. Just shows up. That's me. That's my genetics, right? I come from a family where on my mother's side, there's lots of moles and lots of freckles, and my grandfather had vitiligo. Yes, white people get vitiligo too. It's not just black folks. And so we don't know. So your genetics, maybe your genetics worked for you. I don't know. But it existed. Took people away that I knew. Messed them up. A lot. Some of them got COVID and had issues down the road. Like, it happens, bro. My wife had long COVID. My wife's girlfriend had all of her hair fall out. It's crazy. But here's the thing, man. You got to understand, like, because the thing works for, just because you had your experiences are always subjective. They're not objective. You know what I mean? They're not objective. Experiences are some of the most objective thing in the world. You know, like you come to Vegas, you hit a $250,000 slot pull. You get upgraded to the nicest room in the house. You go to the shows you want. Go to the dinner you always wanted to go to. You had a great time. Somebody else comes to Vegas. They walk into the wrong alleyway or casino. They get robbed. They had the worst experience. They go home and tell Vegas is crap. Don't ever go back. You go home and you say it was great. I love Vegas. I'm going to go back. You know? Who's this guy with the 76ers logo saying unskilled welfare collecting trash? What is this now? And we're going to get rid of Francis Powers because he seems to want to just say the same thing over and over again. And USA is full of trashy trash? Well, that sucks. I don't think so. I think the USA is a great place, bro. America gave me every single opportunity I ever had in my whole life. Where's all my moderators at? I'm going to make Disio a moderator. But if I find that Disio is moderating out conservatives because of their opinion, I'm going to take their moderator away. But Disio has been watching me for a really long time, and they deserve it. One of my students, great person. Different thinking than me. Very Democrat, I'm conservative. So Disio is great, but Disio, if I catch you moderating people over their political differences, I'm going to have to take the moderation away, and I don't want to do that, okay? There you go. Disio Studios, 1559. Always up in my chat rates, always adding things. Don't always agree, but we don't have to agree in life. That's it. Let's see here. Yeah, we can get rid of some stuff here. It's okay. We had to moderate a few things. Kind of a slow day in Vegas right now. Let's read some comments. I'm just being quiet. Yeah, that's okay. Disio can also moderate stuff on my chat if we have like spam and stuff. You know, we only moderate out direct hate. We don't moderate out political opinions. Everybody's got one, and I sometimes I learn all the time from different people's thoughts. You know. Well, we have to stay in the shade over here. It's just way too hot in the sun today. Some clouds. Yeah, in the distance, there's some clouds over there. Not a lot of foot traffic, probably because of the weather, man. Just curious if you received the Villedios. Oh yeah, you've been sending me stuff on Facebook. I haven't been able to look at it. Hard right megas, but okay, we're not talking that. I think in life, guys, we get judged with our most current movie sequel. How's that? Or, I don't know. Let's say that our life is set up like a series of acts and an overall arching story, you know? Like my first few acts in my life were not good. I was a dishonest person. You know? I grew up with a family member that was my caregiver and raised me, who taught me that it's okay to go out and try to get everything out of anybody and manipulate them. So I took that into my later on life, in my adult life, my early adult life. And now I try to take as little free as I possibly can, because I've realized that always catches up with you and people start to see through you. So would I like people to judge me on my early 20s? That would feel terrible. Would I like people to judge me on what I'm doing right now? Absolutely I would, because I think that would be a considerable upgrade as to how I'm getting myself out there and what I can do for the world. You're planning on going to Vegas in September. Any suggestions? Yeah, I would go to a Golden Knights game. You may not be a hockey fan, but it's a great sport and it's a great spectacle that they put on, and it's right on the strip. And September will be preseason, so you can get tickets for very affordable. That'd be an affordable thing you could do. Plan all of your attack early, Sandy. You gotta plan everything early. You have to know where you're gonna go, when you're gonna go. I would make reservations at restaurants and try to keep them. Some of the more popular places in town will charge you a refundable seating deposit because they can get so hard to get into. All right. I'd recommend that if you can, you rent a car and you drive off the strip and try to get into some of the the spectre of nature around the valley, because September is the perfect place to go out and it's not too hot. I'd recommend you go to some locals casinos and check out what it's like off the strip. When will the toolkit be available? I'm working with Chart Prime right now. We're going to set up a package and a price and stuff like that, but we have to dial it in first. We're talking about our 1K toolkit for my traders and in my air. We have two links for you guys. This is my other channel that I trade daily, and I prime my students for success. And then this is 1K a day. If you want to get into my course on trading the futures markets, use the code FutureMe1 today for $197 lifetime access. SJC Trades Futures, we show people where their successes can be and stuff. And so if you go there, you'll see that we use a toolkit. It's a set of indicators, helps people be more successful. They'll launch when they're ready to launch, only at 100%. If you got, okay. Belle, I got a COVID vaccine. I don't know, like, maybe you don't want to watch my channel anymore. I got a COVID vaccine. Of course I did, man. My wife's older than me. She's Asian. Genetically, I think it's proven. I think it's science that COVID targeted Asian folks a little bit harder. I was live streaming all over the strip, you know. I was out amongst the public, so we got the Johnson & Johnson one. The first day it was available, I booked an appointment, you know. I didn't want to bring something home that would hammer her hard enough that she could end up in the hospital, because at the time that was the information that we had in front of us, you know. So I mean, whatever. Now you're like, hey, this guy's a prick. Okay, that's cool. I'll be there with my girl next month for Sammy Hagar. Awesome. I bet you he's awesome. But you know, a lot of these guys, they lose their voice. Like, I wanted to see Smashing Pumpkins at playing later on this year, but I don't want to see Smashing Pumpkins no more because I was listening to how Billy Corgan's voice sounds now, and it's just not the same as it was 30 years ago for me. So you know, all I can tell you is if you're thinking about going to see your idol from 30 or 40 years ago, go and check in and type in their name, 2026 live concert, and see how they sound, because they may not sound the same. And you might be like, ew. I heard a video of Shania Twain singing so off key the other day, but we all have bad days. Ah, Laura, I looked into the science. I can't get into it because of YouTube restrictions. I looked into the mRNA. I looked into the other one. I made an informed decision for my family. I don't have any regrets. No regrets. Oh, did I get boosters? No. I just got the one when it was the darkest times, and now I know what I know. Sammy Hagar, man. Guy's a billionaire. Good for him. I was there last week. I am sad now that I am home. I'll have 154 days. Nice. Anybody counting how many days to Vegas? Tell me in the chats. Does F1 fencing go up in October? No, I think they're going to start doing it. I think they start putting up some of that stuff as early as September, actually. Yep. I wanted to see Foo Fighters, but it's just like the prices of concert tickets are just out of control, bro. Is it worth me to spend $1,000 to go to a thing in Allegiant Stadium to sit close enough that I can see anybody? I don't know. Like, my billable hour is way more than that, man. But I don't know. There's still things that I just from the principle of it. You know what I mean? Why don't I play poker? I'm an overthinker, man. I'm an analytical guy. I have addictive personality. I was a day drinker for a while, got addicted to alcohol. I don't want to get addicted to playing poker. I'm in Vegas Sunday night, so I never learned how to play poker on purpose. How busy is the strip been? I have no idea, man. I haven't been on the strip. I was on the strip yesterday. I filmed that video that I put up. I love that camera. My GoPro Mission 1 Pro, man. I bought it. It's a $700 camera. All right. I bought it. I returned it. The mic came out for it. I bought it and the mic. Spent $1,000. Came back. Oh, I need to work more. You're right, Luigi. I have zero money, bro. I am broke ass bitch. Whatever, dude. Come on, man. But so I bought the GoPro Mission 1 Pro. Brought it back because it had issues with mic connectivity. Waited until the GoPro mic came out, spent $1,000 on that, and I can't be happier with it. It's great. My next purchase, Luigi said we need to work more. My next purchase will be the Insta360 X6 that comes out on the 12th. I'm going to try to get that on day one so I can record with it. Because I love my 360 cameras for recording on the strip, and the X6 looks amazing. This thing is going to be a $700 camera. Consumer electronics keeps getting more expensive, man. The new iPhones, I bet you they're going to launch in a few weeks. About a month, right? They launch in September. They do the announcement. And you're going to see the new iPhones are probably going to be starting price $12.99, $13.99. Live Nation Ticketmaster is a near monopoly. I agree, and they did stop antitrust prosecution. Flying from Seattle to Vegas and taking a Greyhound back to LA. That Greyhound back to LA can be brutal, bro. It really can. There's a couple of different versions. Make sure you get on the short version, not the long one. The long one makes stops at every single stop in the Inland Empire. Apple has been getting criticism lately. I mean, here's the thing, man. Their leasing program, like I'm about to go into the Fashion Show Mall and find out how their 1-year leasing program works. Because I'm going to do it. Most people shouldn't do it. Most people should not lease things. You should save up money and buy them. But the leasing program works for people with money. It doesn't work for people without money, which you think is the opposite. Apple just changed their program, and now they have this new one. Most people shouldn't do it. Most people, $50. Let me ask you in the chat: is $50 a lot for you guys? If you had to pay $50 every month and you had a perpetual new $50 bill, is that something that you guys would think twice on? Yes or no? Would you guys think twice? $50 a month. I get a phone. I'm going to upgrade it every year anyways. Every year I pay $1,500 for a brand new phone. Now I'm paying only $700. What do you guys think? And by the way, I'm paying $700 because you have to have Apple Care, and that costs $13 a month. Apple should be shamed for trying to use Chinese memory. No, they shouldn't. No, it's called capitalism, bro. And I wish that it worked out for them. Because if it did, we would have cheaper consumer devices for you guys. Or you want to spend time giving all your money to SK Hynix and Samsung, who makes all the memory. Allison says, no, glad to hear that. No, but I wouldn't use it for an iPhone. Okay, fair enough. 50 is peanuts, 50 is nothing. I know that. Steven always has the most stimulating Las Vegas live streams. 50 is nothing to me. Okay. I wouldn't like it, but I could afford it. No, 50 is the new 20. Marky Mark wouldn't think twice. It's another day for him and me in paradise. We're going to actually take a saunter into the Fashion Show Mall. There are currently 21 stores that are closed in the Fashion Show Mall right now. Closed and for lease. You wouldn't think it, right? But that is true. The phone lasts years. Oh no, it doesn't last years in that case. Let's be clear. If you're paying $50 a month, you're leasing for 1 year and then you roll it over. And if you don't roll it over, then you have to pay an incredibly high exit at the end. So the way it works is that you either A, roll the phone over into a new phone, or B, you pay a lot of money at the end. You pay the difference. So if the phone costs $1,500, you lease it for a year, $700, and then you want to keep the phone or you just don't agree, you don't want to lease anymore, you're going to pay an exit fee of $700. You're going to pay the whole price of the phone. But I have the means to do stuff. I have the means to be stupid with my money and buy stuff. To me, like, if I buy a thing for $1,000 and I don't like it, I return it. If it takes 2 weeks to get my money back, that doesn't hurt me. But not everybody's in that position. Luigi, I don't gamble, bro. If you want to see a gambling video, there's lots of great gambling channels. Oh my gosh. Pompsy has the slots videos. Vegas Matt does gambling videos. I think you would love those. They're way up your alley, brother. I talk about finance, education, society, history. I talk about all that. So you're probably in the wrong place right now, but I'm so happy you're here, even though you told me I need to go make more money. So we have Breitling and Tudor and Hublot opening soon. 3 in a row. Now, Tudor is the discount version of Rolex. They didn't want to make a sub-brand. They made a sub-brand instead of making a less expensive Rolex. Porsche did something years ago where they released their SUV and it was like $80,000 and suddenly everybody could afford Porsche. Brands often do this to branch out. Mercedes has their cheap version of a Mercedes-Benz where most of the stuff is plastic fantastic, but they cost $70,000, right? So everybody's trying to get your money right now. I invested 50 into Bitcoin over 10 years ago, I'd be rich. For some butts. If some butts were candies and nuts. You know what I'm saying, yo? So Tudor's owned by Rolex. It's a sub-brand of Rolex. Just even coming up here, you can see all the dead retail here. So it's kind of wild. You'd never think it in Vegas, but it costs a lot to be up here. But this is a neat little mall. You should come up here and check it out. Grand Canal Shops. Yeah, Mercedes has cheap options. Lexus has cheap. Everything's about going cheap right now. They're all going cheap. How do I get to... Trying to use my thinker here. Yeah, it's down here across the street. We're going to go back to where we once was. I have a beautiful Judith Ripken watch. Purchased on QVC. Nothing wrong with that if it makes you happy. QVC is trash. Well, you know, bro, one person's trash, it's another person's treasure, and who are we to judge, man? So the way the malls make money, I can tell you guys how retail works in Vegas if you guys care to hear it, but it's very close to how retail works everywhere else. So you're not going to believe it. Do you want to hear in the chats how retail really works and why these companies can stay in business forever? Say yes in the chats. Hi, Steven. We met at the Link Promenade. You saved me from a scammer selling mixtapes. Headed out there next week. Cool, bro. Thank you. We did a 1K a day commercial at the beginning. So if you want to know how retail works, you have to say yes in the chats. We'll have the conversation. I'll teach you something that you don't know. I'm a teacher after all. Oh, I can't raise the price, Wall Street Warlord. People won't buy 1K a day if it's over $200. They will, but I'll get 2 sales a week. So the way the retail works, let's say you're the Win, right? You want to attract high rollers. So you know that high rollers get attracted to Gucci and to YSL and to Chanel and to Hublot and to Cartier. Cartier, by the way, it's not Cartier. It's a French name. And so what you do is you set up your promenade and then you rent them retail space. Now, everybody thinks, oh, the retail space, right? Pay X amount of dollars, must be high rent here. Not really, no. Because there's 2 sides to a retail agreement in most cases. The first side is how much rent you'll pay square foot. That can go up or down based on your location. The second side is a provision in the agreement that says that there's going to be a revenue share if you hit your numbers, and that the property, like the Win or the Encore, get a piece of your revenues when you hit your numbers. And if you don't hit your numbers because business is slow or there's a downturn, you don't have to give anything to the Win or the Encore. So Win Encore right here, they're going to take the big key players that will drive the higher end luxury crowd into the property, who will get them on the gaming floor at the same time. They're going to drive those prices down per square foot for the rents. They're going to give them special provisions like being able to design their own retail space and have their front face any way they want it to look to match their brand. And then they're going to charge them a certain percentage of the take that they sell retail wise quarterly, usually. So Chanel, Gucci, Rolex, they're not paying much rent at all to be here in Vegas. They're doing the casino a favor, and the casino, they're charging them way less. And that's how retail works in most situations, be it the mall near your house, wherever you are, or here in Vegas, or on Madison Avenue. So they're not making that much rent per square foot off of any of these places. But when the person is going to Bulgari over here, or Montclair, when they get on the casino floor and drop $100 grand, casinos make their money, you see. That's how it works. That's the rich getting richer. That's the K-shape. And what's even crazier is that, like, you know, we're going to walk in the Fashion Show Mall until the signal dies. Probably will. Spoiler alert. When you go into, like, Fashion Show Mall, like these glasses, this is owned by Luxottica. Right? These are Ray-Ban Metas. This is a brand run by Luxottica. Luxottica owns Chanel, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. They own Ray-Ban. They own Oakley. They own Sunglasses Hut. They own Lens Crafters. They own all those. There's no difference. They don't care. Shop here at Oakley. Shop at Sunglasses Hut. Buy them at Lens Crafters. Buy them at the Ray-Ban store at Caesars. We got your money either way. Can you fudge your books to not show your full revenue? I don't know. Probably. Biz majors know how to get a piece of everyone's action. Of course they do. See Luigi? Luigi's a smart dude. He's on this channel. Here's what I want you guys to understand, okay? I want you to understand something. Here, I'm going to do an ad for my course, and I'm going to lose 100 people that are watching. I don't care, because this is something I am passionate about. Okay, I want to show you something, okay? Do you guys see this? Do you see where the candle goes up? It goes red, and then the green gets bigger than the red. And then it gets really tall, and it has that little skinny part. See that? You see that? Look, I'm going to put my finger on it. See the dotted line right there? See it? Say yes in the chat. Did you know if you clicked a button right here where that green bar gets bigger than the thick part of the red bar? If you did that, did you know if you did that, 80 or 90% of the time, you could walk away? How big is that bar? 827, 845. Did you know that from there to the top of that green is worth $400 and it takes about sometimes 15 seconds to make? Did you know that? You didn't know that. That's what I teach people. I teach people to look for that pattern. I teach people to understand how those markets run. That's how easy it is. You click a button when you see that happen. That's one of the things. And then I have a YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is called SJC Trades Futures. And I have my students go and watch a video. It takes 5 or 7 minutes to see if they did it right that day. And I post those videos up every single day. So I teach people how they can do those things. If you want to learn how that works, go get my course, 1K a day. I'll teach you how to read that. You can do it because you can spot that pattern, right? Right. Go type Future Me 1. You get the whole thing for $197. It's the only price you pay. It's literally an impulse buy. And then you go to my other channel called SJC Trades Futures. It's right here. And then you watch me every single day post up if you were right or wrong. The teacher shows you the math. Shows you the math. There it is, right? 2 parts. You don't need $10,000 to invest. I'm not an investor. I don't tell you to buy stocks and sit on them for 10 years. 15 or 20 minutes a day. Anybody can do it. So that way, you can piss away $600 on custom Ray-Ban Metas that you hate. I don't like these glasses very much. I love them, but I hate them because they promise me features they haven't given me yet. That way, you can buy a $1,000 GoPro camera and return it and then buy it again. If that's your thing. YouTube is street panhandling. Well, I'm not panhandling, bro. Have I gotten a single super chat the entire time? Nope. Have I asked you for a super chat? Nope. Have I solicited a donation? Nope. Been on the stream 1 hour, 44 minutes. Haven't done any of those things. I offered you a product that it took me a long time to build. Something it took me 5 years to learn how to do. Something that if you were to binge watch the videos, it would take you 24 hours to do, to watch all of them. I offered you a thing. I said, here, go get better. Be better than me. Let me just set things up. A, B, C, D. Boom. You go knock down the pins. Simple enough. I'll just show you how to aim the ball and roll it. That's what I did. But I agree. There's a lot of panhandlers on YouTube. There's a lot of people asking you to support my stream, bro. Come on, bro. I need a super chat before I go talk. I hear you. I agree with you. My dad thought he was going to get rich trading, ended up unaliving himself. Yeah, Luigi, bro, listen, let me tell you about it. There's a lot of stories like that, dude. You're right. It's sad. It's tragic, man. I lost thousands of dollars. I don't, I feel so bad when that happens, too, because it paints everybody with this. Absolutely does. And, the truth is, man, if you don't know what you're doing, you go in, you have extreme risk. Extreme risk, bro. You can't risk things. You have to have a system, man. It's like everybody who doesn't have a system, the one thing is owning a bar, right? You ever heard of these stories? Guy works in tech, loves to go to the bar with his friends, loves his special drink. He buys a bar. 6 months later, the bar is out of money. No, thank you, brother. Nobody's going to pay him any more loans. Because he doesn't know how to run a bar. He just likes bars. He thinks it's a great idea. I sit at a bar and I drink, so I should buy a bar. I can't lose. Bars are profitable. But they're, they don't understand. They don't understand supply. They don't understand purchase orders. They don't understand staffing. They don't understand little things like making sure the pour is correct and you're not over dosing drinks. Like, they lose the bar. It happens all the time, brother. I have a start back over with a test now. I will take a little slower. No one drinks anymore. A lot of less people drink. That's true. Let's just talk about restaurants, man. You love going to the restaurant. You're a vegan. I'm a vegan. So you open a vegan restaurant, man. What's the worst that could happen? Well, you didn't price in the price of lettuce because they had a bad crop in Florida. Like, that's what I'm saying, brother. I'm sorry about your father. I don't peddle a get-rich-quick scheme. I peddle responsible trading. I tell people all the time, slow down, go back to practice trading. You're not ready. Like, I'd rather people crush it. I want to see everybody succeed. What would you say? We got a comment. I can't believe my signal's good in here today. I'm super happy for that. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. What would you say to people that can purchase one of these hotel casinos, spends time doing their own dinner in a different time zone watching someone? Is that you, Alvin? 25 states raised minimum wages last year. The minimum wage being raised doesn't help anybody. It actually keeps people locked in minimum wage jobs. I know it sounds dumb. I know you all want a working wage, but the reality is the minimum wage was never meant to protect you from inflation or from getting a better life. It was never meant to do any of that stuff. Minimum wage jobs are there so you can learn the entire job if you feel like you want to learn the entire job. If you want to run a restaurant and you want to be a McDonald's franchisee, you have to learn the restaurant and you have to develop a set of skills. And minimum wage jobs don't stay minimum wage jobs if you're a driver and a winner and you want to move up in the organization. Did you know that McDonald's will send you to school for free? They'll provide you with scholarships? No, because why? Because somebody made a rant about McDonald's doesn't pay enough. But if you worked at McDonald's for 2 years or a year and you decided to ask your manager about scholarships and about furthering your education, you know what your manager says? F to the yeah. Let's get you in that course. Let's get you in that program. Let's get you trained up because we're a business and we want winners who are going to make us more successful. You see? So you probably didn't know that McDonald's will send you to school, provide you health care, child care, blah, 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 because the vocal minority jumps online and tells you that McDonald's is a terrible company to work for. Correct, always buyer beware. People don't know that they don't know. Education helped me avoid mistakes in life. Steven's course is educational. Cool. Oh, yeah, I should have asked for reviews from my students. But if you don't know that, then you just listen to that person. Oh, I can't make any money. There's a girl online, I was watching her doing a TikTok thing, She's like, I work at Walmart. I was, working in the eyeglass department, optical. And I took this 30-hour course and I went from making $17 an hour to making $36 an hour. Nobody's going to argue that $20 an hour, $19 an hour is a little pay raise. 30 hours. I know people work in the union out here in Vegas, right? So how much do you make? 100 grand a year. How do you make 100 grand a year in the union? That guy only makes 50. Well, they offered me all these certificates and, I just did them. What kind of certificates? Well, I have one certificate where they teach you how to set people up so they can go up high like this. And it's just like straps and you just do that. It takes 15 hours. That'll give you 10 grand more a year. Then I have another certificate. Then I have another certificate. I knew a guy when I first came to Vegas. I was working at a trade show, World of Concrete Expo. He was making $250,000 a year. They were flying him around all over the world to set up for big companies at the trade shows. He looked like Fabio, big buff guy, goofy blonde hair. They gave him $1,000 to stay at any hotel he wanted to for 3 days. He could spend all the money or he could pocket the rest. They gave him a $50 a day food budget. He had an interior designer certificate and people skills. So it's out there. It exists. You just have to want it. You guys just have to find a way to do it. You have to keep swimming. You have to have faith in something bigger than yourself. I choose Jesus. You know, that's what it is, man. 20% Vegas, 80% failed pitches and mega sermons. Okay, Anthony. When you have no ability to actually follow what I'm saying, you're not gonna like it here. When you can't keep up, I need you to keep up, bro. I really do. I need you to get with the plan, bro. I'm trying to change people's mindset. I'm trying to make them look at life differently. I'm trying to get them to a place where they want to feel inspired to do anything better for themselves. I want to get them to a place where and they don't have to give me credit. I don't want credit. I don't want nothing. I just want them to say the 7 magic words, which are, I never thought of it that way, and then go on and do something great. Because we all can do great things, and I was taught that we can't do great things. See, I was taught that we can't do great things, and we're just born into it, and there's people that are the haves, and we're the have-nots, and we're lucky if we can get 3 square meals a day, and how dare you? That's not for you. No, 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 no. And that came from Ukrainian ancestry that lived under communism, that had people come and take their crap from them. Oh, you harvested the wood. Good for you. We're taking all of it. Here's some food. Hopefully it's enough. See you in a month. And that was ingrained in me, and that's ingrained in a lot of you guys. But you're all born rich in your minds, and you just have to tap your potential. That's it. Capitalism has lifted more people out of poverty in this world and improved more lives in the last 50 years than socialism ever could. And that's a fact, Jack. See 80% sales pitch, that is evidence of the issue you have keeping you from learning how to improve. But I understand, look, I understand, bro. I was having a conversation with Meta AI and these glasses about it. How can you become a have instead of a have not? You have to develop skills that have people who want to pay you in the marketplace. It can be any kind of skill, you know? Like, look, there's a perfume brand right there, right? You could develop something that's better than that perfume brand. Make that same product, but make it cheaper. Market the product. If people like it, they reward you by giving you money. Why do people buy stuff? Because it makes them feel good about themselves, right? You have to here's what I would say. You have to find a market. You have to improve on something, and you have to launch that and make people want to pay you money for it. And they want to pay you money because it makes them feel better. Steve Jobs did not invent the iPhone. iPhone was a product. Before it, you had Palm Pilot, you had Windows CE devices, you had lots of different devices that did what an iPhone did. But he went on stage and he said, we have an iPod, a telecommunications device, and an internet communicator. Are you getting it? And people loved it, and it changed the world. So that's how you improve your life, bro. You find something, you develop a skill that's unique to the marketplace, you do the skill, and you get paid for the skill. Signed up for your course a couple of days ago. I have to watch you since you sat in your backyard sitting on a lawn chair. Oh, Daniel, nice to see you. Thank you so much. I'm at the Fashion Show Mall, and miraculously, my phone is working. So we're going to chill out here. Usually the signal dies, but the cellular data deities have decided that we are in a good place today. The steaks are here See you later, Alvin. I'm eating. I bought really good USDA Prime from Sam's yesterday. I'm gonna do one of those tonight. It's gonna be too hot, so I do it in my air fryer. But I'll probably do it on top of my stovetop today with my $100 Chef IQ temperature probe. It's the best thing in the world, man. If you cook meat and you want your steak to be like perfectly 120 degrees, that's a little rare, medium rare. You put this probe into the steak, and it has like 5 spots that measures the temperatures, tells you when to cook, when to flip, when to take off, when to rest. Makes perfect steak every time. When will you publish my indicators? Oh my goodness. We have lots of people asking that. Was that you that just asked that before? Because I took a photo to send to my team. Oh, that wasn't you. That's a different. Okay, I'm going to take another photo. I'm showing them that the demand is there. Buy the Ninja for indoor grilling. It doesn't get hot enough to sear a steak, though. It doesn't get hot enough. So I have a Ninja air fryer. Sometimes you can cook steak in an air fryer and do a really good job, actually. But I'm probably just going to use my... we bought a bunch of cast iron stuff. Really high quality USA-made cast iron. So probably do that. Cast iron style inside. You take butter. It's really easy to cook. You turn it on to like medium-high heat. You drop some water in it after 5 minutes. If the water bounces, then you know you're in a good place to start cooking. And then from there, you just throw it on there. George Foreman grill is way not hot enough. Not at all, unfortunately. But I need sodium. I can already tell you. I don't have enough salt in me right now. If I had salt, I would be back to life. Let's go and try to see. Chipotle would probably have salt, and I can get a salt packet in because I'm on 0 carb. And I just been 2 hours. We'll stay on the stream until the battery dies, basically. I don't think we have to end the stream. We can be in the fashion show all day. That's a happy dog. Working hard to sell the shoe dream. Where am I going? Chipotle is this way. Back to life. Back to reality. How do I feel? I feel... dude, okay. 40... How many days? Let's ask... hey, Meta. Today is August 8th. How many days has it been since June 24th, including today? So, hey, Meta, go away. So I've been 45 days on 0 carb, animal-based diet. I started off like I did in the past, but I was eating way too much dairy. I've minimized it to just eating beef, 80-20% ground beef, steaks, eggs, 8 eggs at a time, 12 pieces of bacon, cooked in 2 tablespoons of butter for the eggs. That's all I eat, ever. And I feel so good. It's not even funny. I'll never go back, I don't think. Salt, 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 salt. We have sugar and artificial sweeteners. I have a weird one. Do you have salt packets?
No, we don't, but I can give you a side.
Can you do that? That'd be so sweet of you. Chipotle's my hero today. She can give me a whole side of salt. Salt raises blood pressure. No, it doesn't. No, I'm okay. That's a lot of salt. Thank you. I appreciate you. Salt actually doesn't raise blood pressure. What it does is it raises blood volume. Salt raises blood volume. So if you're on a diet that's low in low in carbohydrates, what happens is you have no electrolytes. your electrolytes tank and blood volume tanks. Sodium raises blood volume. It's actually why it works so well on a low-carb diet. But salt by itself doesn't really raise, I mean, it can, but there's been studies showing that the whole salt thing is largely a fallacy, and there's 100 different things that are linked to it. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you, you should look into these old ways of thinking and question everything, especially when it's your health. Find a doctor who can work with you on that stuff. Not a cardiovascular friendly system diet, the junk food. How is it not a... That's another thing that people think, right? Oh, it's bad for the heart. You're going to get sick. We can sit here because this place is apparently out of business. It's bad for your heart. It's bad for your heart. How do you figure? How do you figure it's bad for the heart? Why? Because your cholesterol goes up? Yeah, but did you know your cholesterol is just a transporter of fat through your blood? So when your cholesterol goes up because you eat more fat, of course it goes up, right? But did you know that your cholesterol is broken down into subcategories? Most people don't know that because they only get one cholesterol test. And the test you have only really goes over LDL and HDL. But LDL gets broken down into two subcategories. You have big fluffy LDL that are present, and you have hard plaque-forming LDL. And depending on the type of cholesterol you actually have in your blood, the fluffy big ones or the hard plaque-forming ones, your LDL can go up crazy, and your doctor is going to say, well, you're in big trouble because your LDL is high. But in reality, it's your big fluffy LDL particles. This is just true. I mean, it's just most people don't know this, but now you do. 8 eggs. Yeah, I do 8 eggs. 8 eggs, that's my dinner or my lunch sometimes, or my breakfast. Just depends on where I'm at. I track my food every day. Yesterday I had a bit more. I had 2650 calories, but most days I'm at 2150. 2 cups of cooked ground beef in the morning, 2 cups in the afternoon, eggs at night, or I just do a total of like 7 cups of the beef. Excess sodium causes the body to hold on to extra water. See, you're right. You're not wrong, but when you're on a low carb or zero carb diet, you do not hold on to extra water at all. Full stop. I don't hold on to extra water at all. At all. Actually, do you guys want to see a crazy thing that looks like it's against science, but it is what it is? I'll show you the crazy thing. This is what my fat loss and my muscle gain look like. The top is muscle and the bottom is fat. I'm doing the impossible on this diet. I'm eating a proper human diet. My fat is going down and my muscle is going up. So, you know, my body's getting what it needs, I guess. No, I eat the yolks. Full eggs. Full eggs, cooked in 2 tablespoons of butter with yolks. Yep. Absolutely. Gotta have the eggs. Men need cholesterol, by the way. Men need saturated fats. I think women need them too. But men need cholesterol and saturated fats because cholesterol and saturated fats are involved in the production of testosterone. And when you don't have those things, your testosterone tends to go down for men. So it's like, there was actually a test. Hold on. Hey, Meta. Tell me about the bodybuilder back in the 1950s that had this giant egg diet. What was his name again? Right, it was, hey Meta, stop. Vince Gironda was a guy back in the 1950s, and he would eat like a dozen eggs a day. And these guys in the 50s, if they were in America, they weren't on anabolic steroids. But that boosts your testosterone, your own natural anabolic steroids. Now, I'm not a doctor. You should always consult what's best for you with a professional, of course. But I just know what's best for me and what's best for a lot of people. There's this lady that made the rounds. She's up in Alberta, Canada. She's 85 years old. All she eats is beef, and she eats beef that she gets off of her own ranch. It was on a channel called Steak and Butter Gal, and I'll actually show you a little bit of this video just to give you an idea at what's going on with some of these people out there. So this woman here, she's 85 years old, and she's up in Alberta, Canada. She's a rancher. Her mother lived to 103, and this is what an 85-year-old looks like who has been eating nothing but meat. Well, this is her working, carrying 200 pounds at 85 years of age. I've only eaten beef my whole life. I didn't know any better. I live on a ranch. I don't have the internet. Blah, 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 blah. See?
I want to get the Ninjago cards.
Again, we're getting down to the LDL, and I'm telling you about how LDL actually works. All right? I'm telling you, imagine there's a bucket, and the bucket has sand in it, but you're colorblind, right? And you don't know how much of the sand is pink and how much of it is blue. The blue sand is bad sand, and the pink sand is good sand. I don't know why there is such a thing, right? But pink and blue sand. Now, you don't know which one is which until you fix your color blindness. Then you can see which type of sand is in the sand bucket, right? That's how cholesterol works. You can take a look at a glance, being colorblind, and say that bucket's full of sand. It's up to that level. Okay, we put some more sand in the bucket. Now it's up to another level. But until you actually can see the type of sand in the bucket, it's impossible for you to know. So there's two types of LDL particles. There's big fluffy ones that are not harmful and actually good for your arteries. And then there's hard plaque forming ones that are bad for your arteries. But an LDL test only tests one type of it. So you have to do a granular test. Very expensive, by the way. Most people can't afford it. Oh man, we just had a sodium drink. I love it. I need to go do stuff in Edinburgh, Scotland. Thank you so much, Stephen. He's one of my students, by the way. Nearly all research shows that higher LDL increase. I'm not going to say it again. I can't demonstrate it anymore. I can't tell you any more analogies. I can't. I'm just telling you that all the science also showed that the sun revolved around the earth, and they put Galileo in prison and called him a heretic until it was proven that the sun didn't revolve around the earth. And now only a fool would say that the sun revolves around the earth. Okay? Like, there's no reason to have a conversation anymore if you don't believe anything I'm telling you, and you're not going to listen to me. It's the end of the story. End of the journey. We don't talk about it anymore. See what your comments are here. Stephen, do you get a yearly blood test? I had all my bloods done on Thursday, actually. But I have to get my annual deeper. The bloods that I had were for my kidney, my liver, my white blood cell count, all that stuff. What did I have tested? I can actually tell you. I ended up in the ER because I thought I had a weird disease. I had weird little red spots all over that are the size of a pinhead. My AI threw off a crazy thing, and nope, you have something completely benign. I had my lymphs, mono, ABS, I don't know, CBC, CMP, glucose, BUN, creatinine, my GFR, CR, which is your kidney outputs, calcium, protein, globulin, AG ratio, everything was fine. Magnesium, fine. My sodium was a little low because I wasn't drinking properly that day. No. So I had everything looked into. I'm either fine or I'm 1/10 of 1 point out of range. So there you go. Red Horse is high in carbs. Yeah, that used to be the beer I drank when I was in the Philippines. I don't drink any alcohol anymore. I haven't had. Yeah, cherry angiomas. Yeah, they're little tiny things that are completely benign. And well, my AI flagged it as you might have a horrible blood disease that's seeping through your pores. High cholesterol isn't a threat. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Somebody gets it. They're called hemangiomas or something, you know. But it scared the hell out of me and made me run to the ER and make sure that. And I have like 5 of them, and they're very small. They're very tiny. Like, I'm not trying to gross you out. There's not a picture of me shirtless, but that's literally just this thing that my camera is literally half an inch away from. Little tiny things that just like show up on your body. And usually they hit infants, but they hit me. And it's just like the doctor looked at it and she was like, yep, it's hemangioma. Completely benign. You want a blood test? I'm like, yes. Give me all the tests in the world. Whatever. I'll spend the money on them. I don't care. Great to see Steven in good health. I was fat, dude. Yeah, this is how I look now. If you guys have been watching the channel, I'll show you this. So this is how I am now. I actually have to eat more right now because I'm losing weight a little bit too quickly. But I got the little paunch right here. So I'm went from 23% body fat to 21 body percent fat in just 45 days. You can see the little hang right there. But I got to get back to the gym more. I'm doing a split routine. I have time. Yeah, so I've lost a substantial amount of body fat. I'm proud of that. It's good, you know. You gotta take care of your body, man. What causes them to show up? Nobody knows what causes them to show up. They're usually just genetic. They're little pools of blood that happen underneath the skin, and some people just get them removed for cosmetic reasons. There's like a 0.01% chance, like 99.99% of the time it isn't this, that it's a extremely rare syndrome. But if you had them, you would have them in your brain and your liver and everything, and all my organs are tested. So I don't have that. So nobody knows. And trust me, as a weird Asperger's kid brain adult living and functioning, I was all over like, well, how come they showed up? And I've had them for a while. See, that's the thing. I have 2 cats, right? And I let my deaf cat, who's also now my deaf and blind cat, I let her nails grow sharp so she has a way to defend herself against the bigger one. And so I looked and I saw it months ago. I saw one of these things and I thought, I guess that's probably from the cat. And then the other day, I saw it. Now, they could be from stress. I was doing too much sodium for a while inadvertently. I could have been under a stressful period. Nobody knows. They're weird. Typically, they show up in infants and 70-year-olds. But my family has skin issues. I run through it, man. Vegas heat. Maybe that's part of it. It could be. I mean, I wear the bag with the bag strap. I sweat my ass off. Yesterday, I went through hell for that video for you guys, walking around with my GoPro. Large, buoyant LDL are usually less harmful because they do not easily... Thank you, Disio. I love you for researching this. I love you. Now, that's back to our sand analogy about LDL cholesterol, right? You have a bucket. The bucket has a level of sand, but you're wearing colorblind glasses. And you don't know if it's pink sand, that's just good, or if it's blue sand, which is bad. If it's pink sand, that's okay. The sand level keeps going up. Is it more pink than blue? Well, you have to take off your colorblind glasses to know what the colors are. And that's the problem with LDL tests. They're colorblind. They don't look for big or little hard platforming particles. You see, now you understand. I taught you a thing today. Oh, I'm getting the best sleep of my whole life. Oh, that's another thing. By the way, if you guys want to hear, I'll tell you. 45 days, right? 45 days. Look at this, man. Look at this. Dude, that's my sleep last night. Perfect deep sleep. Perfect. Can I get closer? One wake up to feed the cat. There it is. Boom. 7 hours every night for the most part, right? For the most part. Perfect. My heart rate, my breathing rate was a little high last night. I don't know. I had some weird dreams the last few days. But that's my sleep every night now. It's like 7 hours, perfect. Everything is beautiful. My resting heart rate is lower than it's ever been in years. You know? Yeah. Super happy, man. Can't complain, dude. Get around 50 during nighttime. So, yeah, around 50 range. Let's see how it's gone 6 months, right? Let's see here. Sleep score. Let's go here. Go to 6 months. Yep. Anyways, life's good. The cholesterol thing started when these food engineers, scientists started with the modern. I can tell you what's really happening on that. So the cholesterol myth goes back to something called the Five Nations study, which goes back to like the 1950s. Okay, so the Five Nations study is famous and infamous at the same time, right? So the Five Nations study is where this American scientist looked at cholesterol levels of different people around the world, and he equated eating fat, saturated fat, with getting higher cholesterol levels. But there was a problem with the Five Nations study. And the problem with the Five Nations study was that even though the chart went up with fat consumption and cholesterol, there was something else that went up with heart disease. That was also the amount of carbohydrates that each country was eating. So as they ate more carbohydrates and fat at the same time, heart disease became more prevalent. Do you follow what I'm saying? Say yes if you're even listening, okay? So he threw out the carbohydrate stuff, and then he also conveniently threw out nations like Italy, Norway, where they eat a lot of saturated fats in their diet because they didn't fit into his hypothesis. And he presented the hypothesis that fat and saturated fat causes heart disease, and it caught on like wildfire. And by the 1980s, we had heart health guidelines that emphasized eating lots of low-fat foods and minimizing your cholesterol and 2 eggs a day. Your body makes over 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day. The cholesterol in 5 eggs is nothing compared to what your body makes. Your body makes that on its own, right? Regardless of if you even eat a single egg your whole life, your body's going to make so much cholesterol every day. But we got to a point where we were pushing this stuff. And then companies with fructose is one of the most toxic things you can put into your body. Fructose comes from fruit sugar. Fruit sugar causes something called glycation. And glycation is where it literally gums up the rest of your body's cells. You know, fructose, high fructose corn syrup got put into lots of foods because when you take out the fats, you got to put in something that's good tasting or else nobody wants to eat your crap. So why do kids not like carrots? Carrots are low in carbs, low in sugar, low in fats, 0 fats, and they taste terrible. But if you put sugar on a carrot, kids will eat a carrot all day long, right? So in the 80s and the 90s, we get into this whole idea that fat is the enemy, and if you eat fat, you get fat. And it turns out that none of that might be true. If you feed the body what it needs, which is mostly protein, mostly fats, great things going to happen, I guess, for some people who are willing to try it. I'm not telling you to try it. You do what you're going to do. I'm not a doctor. You should always consult medical professionals. Greg says, oh, so. Cholesterol is not a problem, inflammation is. He's right. Tom George is completely correct. Inflamed arteries attract cholesterol. Yes. So imagine your heart valve. I want you guys to imagine the garden hose in your front yard, okay? The garden hose in your front yard. Now, your heart valves pump. They expand and they contract. Thousands and thousands of times, millions of times, hundreds of millions of times over your lifetime, right? Now, your heart valves are pumping and contracting to force the blood through, okay? Then you eat sugar, lots of sugar, and your entire system races. Then you have stress from everyday life, and your entire system races. Then you have anxiety, and your entire system races. All of that increases blood pressure. The heart valves pump harder. They eventually have small little cracks and fissures in them. And the cholesterol, one of the things it's supposed to do is slip through your arteries because all your blood goes through your heart. And kind of imagine it's like a guy in this shopping mall and there's a wall a concrete wall that's showing some cracks. So he goes in with some concrete and he nicely spackles over the concrete and fixes the crack in the wall, right? But over time, more cracks show up, more cholesterol's in there, and you're eating sugar and it's stressing the system, and your liver is under stress because the sugar breaks down, and fructose especially, in the same way that alcohol does. Here's a fun thing to consider. In the 1950s, if you had lower back pain and you went to your doctor and they did a study on your liver and they said your liver enzymes were high, they would diagnose you with something called fatty liver syndrome. And back in the day, in the 1950s, it was something that they said that men got because men used to drink incessantly. Lots of alcohol. You've seen the movies. The hard-nosed private detective. He goes and he drinks. Would you like a drink? Right? So, in the 1970s, late 70s, early 80s, kids started showing up to the doctor with fatty liver syndrome. This is weird. Kids don't drink alcohol. The kids eat sugar. Kids eat sugar. And sugar and fructose and high fructose corn syrup, which is put into everything, which our government pays farmers to grow so they can destroy most of it to prop up the farming industry. All governments do this. It's not a Republican or a Democrat thing. Don't get started on that. That goes through the liver in much the same way alcohol does. So, you get cirrhosis of the liver by eating too much sugar. You get cirrhosis of the liver by drinking too much alcohol. Funny how that works, right? Mad Men, exactly. Oh, Greg was speaking Tagalog. Poe. I'm not Poe. I'm just Steven. You don't gotta call me Poe. Poe is Filipino for like showing respect to somebody. When you say opo, that means like yes. You can say oh, that means yes too. It's casual. Keeping arteries and vein walls flexible and preventing them from hardening helps keep small LDL from sticking. Sunflower lectin balances LDL. It can help, yeah. I don't know. On average, American food is inferior to food in much of Europe and parts of Asia. I'd say that's true. I mean, they use more whole ingredients, but what you need to understand about Asia is they don't use a lot of butter in Asia because butter is expensive to make. So they use massive amounts of margarine, which is just partially hydrogenated vegetable oil. So imagine you have vegetable oil and you want to make it solid. The problem is vegetable oil will not stay solid. It stays liquid no matter what temperature you heat it to. If you put vegetable oil in your refrigerator, it will stay liquid. But if you take hydrogen and you inject it through a process called partially hydrogenating it, now you've attached hydrogen to the vegetable oil. Now you can create a solid mass. And then you eat that, and then your body breaks it down, so you're eating a hydrogen. I don't know anybody that would say, I want to go get a nice serving of hydrogen. So then we have seed oils, which are a whole nother thing, which are debated in hot topics and things like this. So do your research on that stuff. Do I miss fruits and vegetables? Not really. If you do this long enough, you don't have any taste or any craving for sweets. Although I do eat gelatin cups that have artificial sweeteners in them. I'm not too worried about artificial sweeteners as much. All right, chats have slowed down. I love you guys to death. I'm going to go and take on my day, like Dr. Laura Schlesinger used to say. You guys are the best part of my day, as always. I owe the world to you guys for watching my channel. Just a programming note right out here is that, can my thing, now it's down. We're doing Vegas stuff on Mondays and Wednesdays, but we're going to tilt it towards economics in Vegas and explaining topics. And I think yesterday's video went well. I'm going to take my GoPro Mission 1 Pro out and do walk-arounds in the heat and just talk on a train of thought a little bit for you guys. On Wednesdays, we explore an economic topic, something that's going to help you guys, but it's not for everybody, just so you guys know. On the weekends, we're going to do a live stream. I have another channel you can go to if you're interested in my trading stuff called SJC Trades, where I every single day lay out what my students can do. If you guys want to learn how the potentials to make income off of these weird markets are, go do 1K a day. I'll post that link up. I got 2 spots left on the whole live stream for people who want to become students today. We had 1 person sign up today. Use the code FUTUREME1, the number 1. Get it for $197. Give yourself a leg up. Tom says, I've been killing it on morning. 2,000 of 3,000 done. Okay, good for you, bro. I love you guys. I'm going to go to the Apple store and look at stuff. I hope I don't buy any. I can't. What am I going to buy at the Apple store? Okay. The last thing I bought at the Apple store was this, the iPhone Air. This thing is incredibly tiny and I love it so much. But I have no reason to go to the Apple store. But I'm going to go there anyways. That's it. That's life. Love you guys. You guys are great. Like, share, subscribe. Come back. Do all the YouTube stuff. And just remember, guys, just keep swimming. And in life, as always, just remember that God's got this, okay?